Shall we try that again?
Yeah, we're gonna say.
Yeah, hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry.
I got it.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Oh my God. I'm hollering. Welcome to another episode of the Culture and Chaos podcast, where politics meets the people's culture and facts meet the fun. I'm Jessica Cymone.
And I am Santana. Let's break down this week's headline, debunk myths, and dive into the chaos that shapes our world. What up, Jess?
What up, Santana? How you doing today?
Oh man, listen, Jess, it's been a hell of a week. Right?
How you
I mean,
feeling?
multiple reasons. I'm better, right? I'm better in a sense. Not necessarily great, but better. So yeah, I was down, Jess. I was down bad. I thought, I was gonna kick the bucket earlier.
No. You were down that bad?
Jess, well, I may be a little bit dramatic, but I thought that thought it was a wrap for me. I thought I was going to the upper room.
Oh my God, you ought to stop, because you're dramatic and I'm literal. What up, Jose? We see all you guys in the live chat.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you're in the live chat, go ahead and drop a hey, me or something. If you're over on YouTube and you're in the live chat, drop something in the chat so we can see you, so we can know. Yep, we are live. What up, fitness trucker? Yes, we are live. Who else is here? Is there anyone else? Exactly. We live. we live, baby, as someone would say. All right. Hey, there we go. Is it Teresa Collins? Okay.
I know.
Dwayne, I know it. Taylor.
Dramatic he is.
Honestly, I know that's right. What's going on? Uptown.
Hello, governor.
That's how we do it. All right. Listen, yeah, guys, we are live. So make sure, one, you're liking the stream. Make sure you're commenting, engage, do all the wonderful things, and it will help push us out. The YouTube loves engagement, and we also do as well, right? I mean, the more you guys engage, the more successful this podcast will be. Listen, Jess. It's culture and chaos, and our chat brings both the culture and chaos.
Come on now. Yeah. Put it in the chat if you're a culture or chaos. Like, I'm the culture, or I'm the chaos, or I'm both. Let me know what you are. Let me know what you are pushing. Come on now, Jose. We appreciate that. This your friend from TikTok?
It is.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate all the love, and you guys just kind of being with us everywhere.
Yep. Anyway, Jess, how was your week? I didn't get to ask you that. Like, how's the things look for you?
It's been a week. It's been very interesting. Sometimes life try to knock you off your rocker, but you come right back. I had a lot of exciting. It was a great day yesterday. I can't wait for us to get into it. Towards the end of the podcast, I'll make sure you guys stick around. But yeah, I guess that just made up for everything. All is well if it ends well.
All's well that ends well. Oh, yeah.
It's been a crazy week in Trump's America, and we just out here trying to protect the culture and handle the chaos.
Yeah, Jess, I mean, it's literally the interesting thing about not only this week in Trump's America, but like Trump's America period. Like, this week has been a microcosm of what we've had to deal with, right? I mean, Trump has been in office for a couple of months, and it feels like he's been here forever. And Jess, we still have over 3 years left to go with this.
Oh my goodness. It feel how I feel like I said before, we're in the presidency and we've already done our 8 years and 6 months, and we're gonna be walking out. When he walks out, we're gonna be looking old.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, Jess, you ready? Let's get into this week in Trump's America, and getting into this week in Trump's America, we have to start with, of course, the constant attack that this administration has proceeded to have, even going back to his first term, the attack on women. And
Mhm.
Jess, when I say the attack on women, what do I mean?
Oh, you're not talking about when he said grab him by the. Okay. No.
That too.
My bad.
That too.
I'm
That
like,
too.
this attack has been going on for quite some time now, and I don't know why he feel
Mhm.
like he protecting women, because revoking guidance requiring hospitals to provide emergency care for abortions is not protecting women. It's not loving women. It's furthering the attack on women, and just more specifically, I mean, women, period. But we all know how much this is detrimental to Black women, considering the fact that we're not even getting the health care that we need already. Considering
Yep.
the fact that Adriana Smith is an incubator at the moment already, but that's a whole nother story. But this is crazy.
Just that's absolutely a wild story in the sense of like the fact that not only is Adriana Smith, you know, for all intents and purposes, brain dead, and she has no chance of actually living a real life ever again. I mean, she'll be a vegetable, and they are forcing this body, for lack of better words, like you said, incubator, to continue to house this quote unquote baby who, if comes to term and is somehow birthed, it will be not viable. I mean, there's a pretty good chance that the child won't live, and even if it does live, it's going to be extremely limited and disabled forever. And like the wild part about all of this is the right doesn't care about any of that. The right just wants to set a precedence that holds people to having babies because they're not going to take care of the babies. They don't really care about this one specific case. They just want to make sure that they uphold the notion that you have to keep having babies.
And let's not forget that they love to experiment on Black women. Because this is also a scene from The Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if you watched that.
I watched some. I think
she also,
I don't
it
think I
was a
finished the second season.
Black girl also too, pretty much brain dead but pregnant, and they needed the baby. They needed the baby, and then you know they love to experiment on Black women. So I wouldn't put it past them to want to probably even try to experiment on the baby once it's born with whatever deformities or however it may be when it's born. I'm pretty sure they want to do experiment on the baby too. And it's just crazy that even in death, you still ain't got a fucking choice. You can't even leave this bitch. Like, get me out of here.
Nope. And I mean, again, it goes back to, again, the constant attack on women, right? I mean, the right as a whole, yes, this Trump administration as well, but the right as a whole has consistently wanted to restrict the rights of women, and overturning Roe was a massive win for them. And now them doing things that even target like the most extreme cases, which again, rescinding guidance that requires emergency abortions, like all of this is just I don't understand how you can be a woman, period, and vote or support this administration, even if you are quote unquote pro life, right? Because it's not even necessarily just about being pro life. Like literally, they're taking away your rights, like your rights specifically. And if you let them limit you in one way, what's to stop them from limiting you in multiple ways?
Exactly. Little shit turn into big shit. Even though this is already big shit. That's why we nip it in the bud right off the rip. We shouldn't even be letting this slide. Because you get in this conversation with Christians about pro-birth and all this other things, but y'all, they're very selective in the rules they want to follow in said book. Because even one of the senators from representatives from Texas was talking about like they want to put the 10 commandments in school, but you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath, but yet they were drafting the bill on the Sabbath. Not supposed to work on Sunday, but yet they was trying to pass it on a Sunday. Like, so how are we going to implement something we're not, like, it's very selective.
Yeah, just, I mean, we understand how hypocritical they are, and how a lot of times it's, you know, do as I say, not as I do. right?
Mhm.
So there's that.
Off topic, on topic. What do you think the biggest threat of women is to men? Like, why are they so scared of
To
women?
men,
Yeah, why are they so scared of women? You don't want them. They don't want them to have power. They don't want to have them have any rights. They want to control their bodies. They want to get away with grape and all this other type of stuff. What is you think the biggest threat to men is from women?
I don't think there's actually a quote unquote biggest threat to men. I do think that kind of like how, there's the white replacement theory, and the actual replacement theory as far as women being in a position where men are no longer at the top of the patriarch, like that's what they're dealing with. And so there are men that want to continue to hold on to power in every way, shape, and form it rolls out, and then that even relates to like social roles and norms. Like it's a sense of having control and power. I've never understood that. I've never been a person who wanted to control or have power over other people, but there are certain people who feel like they need that type of control and power, and allowing women to progress too much would restrict and rescind some of their power. So that's what it really boils down to, Jess.
Mm-hmm. What do you if they don't get the power, if women are in power, what do they feel like is going to happen to them? Because I feel like white, people feel like, oh, if black people are in power, they're going to do what we did to them. Like,
Yeah.
what do they think women they're going to do to them?
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was going to say. Just like I legitimately think that they have this notion that if women are in power, then women are going to quote unquote oppress men, like men have oppressed women, right? I mean, men have stripped away women's right. They've abused women. They have given them less than, whether you talk about like the employee wage gap, or whether you talk about pink laws, like, or I'm sorry, pink taxes. Um, Men who have had the ability to put their thumb on women and hold them down, I think they feel like if the roles are reversed, then women are going to do the exact same thing. I think that's what it is.
We would need like arm power or like strength to do that.
Well, the wild thing to me is I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, I was having this conversation with a lady last night, and she was talking about like, oh, black people hate white people, and I'm like, no, that's not true. Because if black people actually hated white people, then black people would, unalive white people, right? But the thing that I'm trying to get across to her and to other people is to understand that the people that have been oppressed, they don't have an interest in becoming the oppressors. They just want equality. They just want freedom. They
Yeah.
want the right to bodily autonomy. So if there was ever a dynamic that flipped and women were in charge and men were lower on the patriarch, women wouldn't treat men the way that men treat women. And I just know that in the sense of how women are, right? So, yeah.
I agree. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate you guys.
But Jess, I mean, talking about an attack on the women's reproductive rights, we have to talk about not only the attack that's coming from the Trump administration, but the attack that's coming from literally people out in the streets. Jess, did you see that the FBI has arrested the man that is connected to the California fertility clinic explosion?
I saw that. Was it a white man?
Pretty sure it was. Pretty sure it was. I mean, yeah, I call it like that, but
They
yeah.
mad. So my thing is, I don't know if they're pro birth, but like, what's the point of committing a crime to what, quote unquote, stop something you don't like?
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
get it.
it ties back to this complete notion of religious freedoms, and what the Bible does or does not allow, and it's all just weird, Jets. It's all just weird, and for me, because there's been a lot happening in our country, even more so with people who are becoming more and more radicalized and doing stuff like bombing this clinic or taking Molotov cocktails and, what happened in Boulder, Colorado, just exploding them everywhere. Like, you have these extreme people who are radicalized by these ideas, and they take that radicalization and they act on it. Like, more so now than ever, they're acting on that radicalization.
Which is crazy. That's why your ass got arrested. Leave folks alone. Mind your business. Find your purpose elsewhere, because this ain't it.
Yeah. I don't know, Jess. It goes all the way back to control, which, Trump tries to assert control, and when he does so, he does it in the dumbest ways. Or, I'm sorry, not to say that. He does that in the craziest ways.
No,
More so, he tries to leverage tariffs.
Let me guess. Tariffs back on? Or is the
Tariffs
tariffs
back
off?
on.
I can't keep up. Is they on or is they off right now?
They are on. Jess, he has increased the tariffs on metals by 50%. And also, not only with that, they are saying that with Trump tariffs, his tariffs will actually cut the U.S. deficit by only $2.8 trillion over 10 years, but completely shrink the economy. Jess, it's not worth it. The actual back and forth that he's going with the actual tariffs and placing them, raising prices, and the negative impact that it has across the board, it's not worth the minimal amount of savings we'll have over a 10-year span.
10 years. He's going to
2.8 trillion
it
over
right
10
back
years.
up in 6 months. You talking about
if they get that, that bill passed, then it absolutely will. Absolutely will.
I hope that I don't even want to get started on that bullshit ass bill, but 10 years. I think that they try to throw out numbers and think that we're not going to catch the end part where it says over 10 years. Because by the time you cut the deficit 2.8 over 10 years, that will be in probably like $10 trillion worth of debt by the time you get done.
Yeah, I mean, again, you take a look at where the debt is, and how we continue to accrue. And not only that, I mean, certain proposals that this administration has that's going to have long-lasting impacts, like saying that you're going to cut it by 2.8 trillion over 10 years. That's nothing. It's absolutely nothing.
Spit on it.
Exactly.
I was about to say, damn, I forgot. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, like the sentiment is good. I think that no one would disagree that we definitely need to be able to save, right? But just he's not saving anything. Just not only is he not saving anything, just has he actually even made a deal yet?
The man can't make a deal. That's why he kept firing everybody, because he didn't know how to make any type of deal. Any deal that he make is going to be bad. Like, even when he's talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a deal as soon as I become president. I'm gonna stop all of the wars. I'm gonna stop this.
Yeah.
Day one.
What, Jess, you know what? I guess the way that he's gonna stop wars is by using the US to veto certain things when it comes to the UN. Have you seen that, Jess?
I heard about it, but I haven't actually. Come on, fill me in.
Yeah, so the US is set to veto the UN Security Council demands for a ceasefire in Gaza, right? We understand that this administration is pro-Israel, and not only are they pro-Israel, but this administration has been actively working against the Palestinian people. And saying that you will veto a ceasefire is another stance of you actually actively harming the innocent Palestinians in Gaza.
Yo, okay, so I'm glad I pull this. Oh, damn, I hope, is this it? I hope I pull this up. It's an interview that he did with in Manhattan Inc. back in like 1987. And then he said, I think you have to come down on them very hard economically or whatever. And then he says, I think the solution is largely economic, because there are so many of these countries that are so fragile, and we have a vast power that's never been used. They depend on us for food, for medical supplies, and I would never even suggest using it except on this issue. But the issue supersedes all the things. I guess the easy thing would be to say you go in and clean it out. I don't necessarily want to advocate that publicly because it comes off radical. So you've been radical. This is 1986 or 87. He said he's been spending so much time on other things, the subject, that he's hardly had time to think of conventional deals, but he's on track for a much bigger deal. But basically what he said that maybe you should offer them something. And I'm saying you should start off as nicely as possible. Then you apply as much pressure as necessary until you achieve the goal. You start off by telling them, let's get rid of it. If that doesn't work, then you start cutting off their aid, and then more. You do whatever is necessary so these people will have riots in the street, so they can't get water, so they can't get Band-Aids, so they can't get food, because that's what's the thing that's going to do it, the people and the riots. Manhattan interview, 1987, I think. 85.
Jess, we understand how most politicians within the United States are completely in the pockets of the Israeli government through AIPAC. And they are willing to bend the knee in every way, shape, or form. I think that until we get to a point where our government is not intertwined with Israel, there'll never be a situation where we're doing anything that's right for not only the people in Gaza, but the people around the world, because Israel has its tentacles in so many different things. It has so much control. So, I mean, like, Donald Trump has known this for a long time. And that's why, like, him saying that, or the U.S. vetoing the ceasefire demands, that doesn't shock me. It's par for the course. It's par for the course. But, the one thing about dealing with international partners, and whether it be trade or negotiations or whatever, you can play bully in certain situations, or think that, you're just going to acquiesce in other situations when it comes to, like, Israel. But when you come to dealing with, like, actual leaders that have been in power for longer than Donald Trump has been in politics, you find out how tough they really are, Jess.
Because he ain't tough at all. They all talk about, like, oh, he knows how to make a great deal, which we just proved it. One of the deals he made, or not, lack thereof, is not working. But then just trying to punk Ching Jong-un. How you say his name?
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
I missed his name with Kim Jong-un.
You did. That was a whole remix. Yeah. No, he absolutely, listen. Trump said that he spoke with Xi, and he called Xi tough. And also not only called Xi tough, but said that it's hard to actually make a deal with Xi Jinping.
But I thought Trump was a tough one.
Yeah. Well, listen, again, when you go up against a real bully, a real leader, which, don't get it twisted. The fact that they call it the Chinese Communist Party, they're not a communist party. They're a dictatorship. But Xi Jinping is someone who has been in politics for a long time, who has been a leader of that country for a long time, and who knows how to deal with certain adversaries on the international stage. And Donald Trump is just a toddler screaming, hoping that he gets his way.
Yeah. And you know how your mama leave your ass is laying on the floor right there and just keep on going till you decide to get up and come on? That's exactly what he's doing. G's like, I'm not even finna whoop you.
No. You know what he does, Jess?
All these folks.
They do things like curb the rare earth exports that massively impact the auto industry. China understands their leverage within around the globe, and they exert their leverage to make sure that they actually not only are protecting their country, but they are harming other countries. And the fact that they have access to certain rare minerals that the entire auto industry needs, and they can say, we're slowing it down, we're cutting it off, we're controlling it this way, we're controlling it that way. That's a massive power move by an actual leader.
Yeah. Now, and you talking about which means you probably gonna need Elon Musk in them cars when you can't get other cars. But that's a whole nother story.
That's definitely a whole nother story.
I didn't even think about that though.
Yeah. I just like.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. Just, I mean, the thing is understanding that China is a country that understands their economy, and they're not really like buyers. They're definitely sellers, and with them being sellers, they have the ability to affect the market in a lot of different ways. And so I know a lot of people like to say, "Oh, China needs us more than we need them." No, that's not true. That's not true.
No.
Because you can talk about, oh, we can, buy from other places. We don't have to buy from China. Yeah, it's really hard to say you're just going to completely cut out like your third largest trade partner and go a different route.
Because at the end of the day, if everybody's buying and we got one seller, we're all coming to him. And the thing is, you like, oh, I want to bring this back to America, but America is filled with entitled motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you getting paid? They just say they're getting paid $12 an hour in China. The same job, whatever here, they want to get paid $50 an hour. Now, maybe exaggeration, but y'all for the same product.
Yep.
So y'all cost too much.
Yep.
That's why I feel like what China did is they invested back into their economy, which we should have invested back into our people and our education system, because we stopped being innovative. We stopped creating because we started pulling back from our education system. We started pulling money from the Department of Education and not funding these schools so that we can create more innovators. And if we create more innovators, we can be in the forefront of other things that we can in turn sell back to other countries. But no.
Wait,
capitalism.
Jess, are you saying that you need to always be in a position where you're changing, you're trying to do something different than you did before? Is that what you're saying?
Sort of like kind of like being progressive?
Ooh, yeah. Or sort of like Pope Leo, the new Pope. The new Pope is someone that's shaking it up, Jess. Did you see how like his style is differing from Pope Francis?
Baby, hold on. The old Pope. Baby, the old Pope was on his way. No, I ain't gonna say that.
Yeah, he was.
He was used to the old culture. He was used to the old culture.
And even more, right, the biggest shift in style is the visibility, because Pope Leo is out here in these streets, right? The amount of public appearances he's made has dwarfed the amount of public appearances Pope Francis made prior to him passing away. And even more so, it sets a tone for a difference in how popes have responded. He's not only more so out and about visiting other countries, visiting other areas, but he is weighing in on important topics, including Gaza and what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in Ukraine. Pope Leo is making his voice and presence heard and standing up and saying, hey, we need something different.
We got to have something different. We got to be progressive. Yep. Okay? I don't get, that's off topic, on topic. I don't get conservatism, far right, tradition. Everything changes. If we was sticking to tradition, white Heat people wouldn't even be here. Go back to, where you from. Tradition, everything changes. Who wants to be the same over 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 years? Make it make sense. Like, are we not moving forward? But that's all another story. So I agree with the Pope. I agree with the Pope.
I mean, I think the fact that the Pope is making this shift, I think it's something that will be influential. I mean, we understand the reach that the Catholic Church has across the globe, and the Pope is, Pope is the big dog. The Pope is the big dog, and the Pope makes all the calls. And if the Pope is saying, Like we need to being more visible, making sure everybody knows like I'm the man. And not only that, but on top of that, saying like, hey, what's happening in Ukraine is not good, but even more so, what's happening in Gaza needs to stop. And Jess, he's not the only one that's saying what's happening in Gaza is absolutely insane. Jess, when you talk about the Pope, you always think about, heaven, but you also think about hell. And I don't know if you saw this, but the Red Cross chief said that Gaza is worse than hell on earth.
Yeah, that has to be. I couldn't imagine being there. I saw a couple videos when they were trying to give them aid and give them food and how they were fighting over the food. And it just takes me back to what Donald Trump was saying and how it's like being implemented. And it's just so inhumane. Like they probably would rather be in hell than to be like every day not knowing the food, not showering, not having a place to sleep, not knowing if your family's alive, not knowing if you're going to be alive in the next day or the next even 10 minutes, not having any type of anything. It has to be hell, just even mentally. And that, like you said last time, it's going to affect them for generations to come.
Yeah, it absolutely will. But just, the thing that I don't want to be remiss in making sure that we actually mention, and hopefully this is going to be a focus, not only, I know this is going to be a focus of mine, and it'll be a focus across our podcast, but a focus, I hope it's something that people focus on across the board. And that is not only what's happening in Gaza, right? Because yes, what's happening in Gaza is absolutely something that we need to bring attention to, but we can't forget about what's happening in other parts of the world. When you talk about the Congo, when you talk about Sudan, when you talk about in Eritrea, you talk about all of those other areas that have, an active G-side, and you don't have the type of attention, you don't have the type of humanitarian aid, you don't have Libya, you don't have the type of focus that should be on those other countries the same way that we need to put a focus on Ukraine and Gaza. We need to put a focus on all of these areas because these areas deserve freedom. Sudan, these areas deserve liberation. These areas deserve an ability to live and actually make it, Jess.
Yeah.
And so, like, I will always say free Palestine until it's backwards. I want the people of Ukraine to have their land and to have their freedom. But damn it, Jess, I want the people and all of those black and brown countries as well that are being affected to have their freedom as well. And we have to start standing up and screaming about those as well, because all people deserve to be free.
Yeah. Because because you put a ban on traveling to Congo. And I don't know if it's just because of GSOC or you don't want anyone to know what's happening over there.
Well, Jess, I mean, if you take a look at it, not only did he put a ban on Congo, but he put a ban on a lot of those black countries that are dealing with active G-sides. I mean, Eritrea, Sudan, the Congo, like all of those places where there's active G-sides he put a ban on those countries. And that speaks to not only him, but his priorities. That speaks to what he believes in and how he and his administration will continue to do business. That's what it boils down to, Jess.
And they don't even care.
Yeah. They don't. The thing is, just we can't let them off the hook. We can't let them off the hook. I know for a fact that it's going to be something that I plan on spending more time talking about.
I'm sorry.
It's something that I plan on spending more time talking about. It's something that I hope more people, more creators, more of everyone puts more attention on, because it's something that is absolutely diabolical. And once you put more focus on it, Jess, I feel like not only do we need to support them as far as helping them with aid, but damn it, Jess, I hope that we get to a point where we can help them with military aid as well, so they can gain their freedom. Military aid where we've helped Ukraine, but Ukraine is starting to say like, you can help us, but we're not going to tell you everything.
Because they smart. Shout out to Zelensky. He's smart because after the way they tried to play him at that meeting, and laughing and shit. That was disgusting. I was embarrassed. Fucking, I'm secondhand embarrassment. So I get why he wouldn't want to tell them shit. Like now, I know he knew after that. Like I gotta find another way. So with him being able to pull off those drone attacks without the U.S., because obviously you working with oh boy, you been in the knee over there. I'm gonna have to figure out how I can do this without you.
Yeah, no, just the fact that Ukraine left out their biggest military partner as far as in telling them about Operation Web speaks volumes. Not only does it speak to the fact that the Ukrainian government doesn't think that they can trust the American government anymore, they know for a fact that giving this information would be a hindrance in some way, shape, or form. And Jess, this was the most successful strike that has been pulled off in this war so far on either sides. I mean, it not only did they get into the heart of the country, they decimated a large majority of the Russian military air force, taking out multiple planes that are not only detrimental to what's happening in Ukraine, but that Putin has used as a deterrent, as a threat against the U.S. Literally, Zelensky did us a solid. He did us a favor.
Shout out to Zelensky. And I always say the last thing you want to do is give a person a chance to realize that they really don't even fucking need you. That's when you really start getting cut out. So that's just what your most successful attack. You didn't even include us because obviously y'all working behind the scenes on some shit allegedly. Yeah, it's a W. It's a W Zelensky for me. Okay, here's some W Zelenskys in the chat.
It is absolutely a W, and not only is it absolutely a W, it speaks to the fact that it speaks to the fact that other countries know that they can't rely on the United States anymore, and so they're not, right? Even you talk about like Canada. Canada is now looking to see what they can do to actually join the European allies as far as being able to strengthen themselves and their military assistance. Like they're literally going all the way across the sea, Jess, and disregarding the partnership that we have within the Americas, right? Within Turtle Island. They're saying we would rather go across the ocean and get support than to work with this Trump administration. This Trump administration is not acceptable.
I agree. I mean, I ain't mad at it. I'm gonna go out my way. You know, they be like, I ain't going my way to not fuck with my baby daddy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out my way. Even we all know it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. Again, embarrassed.
Yeah, but just like I'll say this, right? I think that the biggest thing that we can pull away from this is understanding that this administration is no longer the administration that people want to involve themselves with, right? Yeah, exactly, Jess. Exactly. Like it's something that it's something that is going to stain our country for. Jess, what's the strength of America?
It ain't Trump. It used to be our military. It used to be the freedom.
Used to be the military. Used to be the military. It absolutely did used to be the military, Jess. Now, if you take away that actual strength that used to be the military, what happens when our military is no longer not only our military is no longer top dog, right? But our military is no longer looked at as the force that people need. What happens when that happens, Jess?
Baby, you realize you ain't got no friends. You realize, oh, I can also attack you. I can also come take your shit. I don't need to wait anymore.
Yep. Jess, I think that it's going to be a hard lesson learned, right? And even more so, it's something that this administration has continued to perpetuate, and for some reason, Trump supporters tend to believe this notion that we can be isolationists while not understanding that we need other countries. We need our allies. We need those people that support us. We have to support them because we need them.
I don't think they are getting basic logic, right? You have 200 people. Everybody's fighting. So you start like the purge. You start clicking up with people so you can be protected, right? If you are by your lonesome self and everybody gets together because they don't like you collectively, you're most vulnerable. You're most likely going to get it. You're going to get it, girl. You're going to get it. You know what I mean? You're going to get it. We have to have friends. We have to have allies. It's like they're not getting the basic simple math. Basic simple I don't get it. I can't even dumb it down that small. Like, why do you think we don't need friends? Why do you think Russia can come? Like, they're literally like what, 55 miles off from the west, from Alaska, and then you want them to start inching in from the east, or in Europe, you want them to start taking over. And then we're not friends with Canada. We're not friends with Mexico. We're literally vulnerable on all fronts.
Yep. Jess, I'm telling you, it's a whole thing. I don't think they understand how things work, and that's why they are so okay with harming not only our allies, but just they're okay with harming each other. And Jess, I don't know what you mean. I don't know if you know what I mean when I say harming each other, because we know for a fact that these people that support Donald Trump have always said that, oh, it's temporary gain. I'm sorry, temporary pain for permanent gain, right? But Jess, I think a lot of people are starting to get that pain, and I don't know if they can deal with it anymore, because it just came out that there has been a plunge in millionaires' 401k. The 401k of millionaires have dropped by 4.6%. Have you seen that, Jess?
But I bet they because I knew a lot of people's 401k was dropping, but I didn't even think about the billionaires because y'all got plenty of money. But
millionaires,
they probably millionaires. My bad.
But you know, I gotta just say it, Jess. It's levels. It's levels.
It's levels to this shit. True.
It's levels.
True. I probably like, not me. You didn't say my shit was gonna drop. You said it was gonna be their temporary pain for our permanent gain. You didn't say I was gonna be included.
Yep. Jess, I'm telling you, there's a whole thing where not only are people losing money at a rapid pace, but they're starting to turn on each other, and not only turn on each other, but they're starting to turn on the Trump administration. And you can talk about turning on the Trump administration, but you can't talk about turning on the Trump administration if you don't talk about Elon Musk turning on this big, beautiful bill.
On the Trump administration.
On the Trump administration.
Yeah, when he first called out the big, beautiful bill, I'm like, maybe it's a little rift or something. Maybe I'm being funny. Like, oh, maybe you trying to switch sides. Maybe you realize I fucked up. Or maybe, but I'm like, but how you didn't know? Because he kind of was talking about this big, beautiful bill. But what did he say? The big tax break bill is disgusting abomination, testing his influence over the GOP.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's really talking about some of the cuts, but also to some of the provisions that are in there that pretty much strips Donald Trump. I mean, the checks and balances away and give him ultimate power eventually. But
yeah, well, I know we're going to get into it in a minute, so I don't want to dive too far into it. But I think that the fact that Elon Musk, along with other senators, have come out and openly admitted that this bill is not a good thing. And even more than that, you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene admitting that she didn't even read the bill, Jess.
Are we surprised? No. Are we surprised? Most MAGA cannot read. And that is not me even taking a dig at you, MAGA. That is just statistically. They already put the numbers up on your education levels. We already know the education levels on most of the red states, right? So we know that most of them cannot read, and that
Mm-hmm.
does not exclude Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She was never
I
going to
mean,
read.
no, and which,
Too
to
many
be fair,
pages. She
just
need a Dr. Redfish, Bluefish.
one fish, two fish.
Yeah, that's what she needs.
Yeah. I mean, but like to be fair, right? I mean, we understand that there is a lack of reading comprehension within the United States, right? I mean, we understand that the United States does not actually have the ability to read at the level of other countries, and even more than that, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. The reason why this is sad, right, is because she doesn't have to read the bill, Jess. She legitimately does not have to read. The people within Congress have a team of people, literally a team of people whose responsibility it is to read bills and legislations for them to make sure that they actually are able to vote on those bills. Because yes, we know the quote unquote big beautiful bill is 1,000 something pages, but
They
she
didn't read
has
it either.
people that can consume that for her.
They didn't read it either.
Yeah, no. No.
And that's why we can't get rid of the Department of Education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
where was we at in 1979? Where was we ranked at?
Mm.
What did that do? Say where was we at? And I
Oh,
don't even.
what did he say? Oh no, ask Linda McMahon. Like, where were we? Where were we in 1979? Linda McMahon was like,
At,
uh,
at the bottom of the
she at the
totem
bottom.
pole. Poor.
Yeah, and then he was like, we're actually number one.
And that's her friend. He was trying to throw her.
Trying to throw a softball. She couldn't even get that. Couldn't even get that right.
No, baby, you were at the bottom of the totem pole. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
was number one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, y'all. That's why we have to continue to fight because we cannot dismantle the Department of Education. We have to put more money into the Department of Education, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
Jess, I feel like it's time for us to really get into the meat and potatoes of it, just because
I've been
I
waiting
know
on
that
this.
we've been talking. Yeah. I know we've been talking around it. I know we've been talking around it. I'm sure a lot of people are super interested in it and all this other stuff. So, Jess, I think it's time for us to lock in.
This is how crazy Batman's made Gotham.
Oh, okay, we back. My bad.
Jess, you know it was coming.
I know. I'm so excited.
You know it was coming.
So,
Jess.
yeah. The girls
I'll
are
give it to you.
fighting. Welcome to Baddies White House edition, okay? Trump and Musk.
I don't get that reference.
You said what?
I don't get that reference.
Aw, it's okay. The chat, if you got that reference, put a 1 in the chat. Trump and Musk feud explodes online and it turns personal. And I've been waiting on this day. Matter of fact, a lot of us have been manifesting it. I mean, we knew it was happening. We were manifesting how it would happen. Like, we hope that it would be public. We hope that it'd be like, rah, 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 and I hope that it'd be like very, very much low blows and they go back and forth. And I feel like this is just the beginning. Like, where were you when it first started happening?
Yeah, I mean, like, so, Jess, I was on a live on my backup account on TikTok, just doing a stream, and people were just like, "Hey, did you see what the tweet that Elon just put out? Did you see the tweet that Elon just put out?" And I checked out the tweet, and the tweet was specifically talking about how Elon was like, "Oh, the reason why they won't put out the Epstein files is because Trump is listed in it." And I'm like,
We
"Okay,
know that.
we already knew that."
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is no bombshell. And people started losing their minds. And I realized that the people on the right started losing their minds because they don't listen.
They don't believe it. They thought we were lying to change
Just
their mind.
it's always, oh, you guys have PDS. Oh, you're targeting Trump. Oh, you just don't like him. Oh, you're lying. And then when you have someone who spent millions of dollars to support this administration and has everything to lose by lying, finally coming out to say, hey, he's on the list, which, Jess, we've already seen the flight logs. We know he's on the list. Now they want to start talking about it. But Jess, you know where the plot twist gets interesting? MAGA's turning on Elon.
Hold on, Bannon?
No, MAGA's turning on Elon.
Oh, I'm finna say no, Bannon. I'm like, I thought you said
No. MAGA
like,
as a whole.
He never
And
liked,
you can talk about
Elon.
You can talk about Steve Bannon or Stephen Miller, who both are proposing that they should deport Elon,
which is crazy.
Wild Wicked business, exactly,
and launch into his I'm on TikTok, into his drug use.
Yeah. And then you have like everyday MAGA who's like, well, this South African. That's their new slur, Jess. That's their new slur. This South African. He's just a South African.
They want to say this.
They really want to say this white N-word. That's what they really want to say. But that's where they're leaning into now, Jess. And the fact of the matter is, like, I don't know if you've noticed this, right? But the back and forth that Elon and Donald Trump engaged in online was very superficial. And we know how, like, nasty Donald Trump can be. But for him to pull his punches and watch his words.
That's what I thought was very, very interesting. I kept refreshing Truth Social, thinking like, why isn't he saying anything? So I asked my chat yesterday, do they feel like it's a play? You know, we fake it into it, you know.
Jess, what happens when you're playing spades and you got the eye contact with your partner, right? And you and your partner know, you and your partner can read each other. You and your partner, like, you locked in, you guys have played before, and you're calling the amount of books that you have, and you know that the best book in your hand is The Little Joker. And your partner can't beat The Little Joker. Jess, what does that mean?
That means the other two got the big joker. Yeah.
Jess, I think the reason why Donald Trump is willing to say certain things and take small jabs is because he knows, yeah, I got a little bit, but Elon has the big joker. And I don't want to push it and have him slap that big joker down.
Boy, you thought you had that? You ain't hide that big joker over there, boy. Let me find out you play spades. So whenever we do link up, we gotta play.
Listen. I get busy on the card table, Jess. Not even gonna hold you. I get busy, but like that. I think that's what it really is. I think that's why he has been slow to speak, and even when he does speak, he really is light on his words. He's not really one. I know for a fact that he knows Elon is unstable because Elon is on that. Right.
Yeah. Anytime you on drugs, that's why I say I love a good crackhead, because as soon as anything they hit, whatever, you finna hear it all. You finna get everything that you need. Okay.
Yep. So that's what I think it is. But like I understand, Jess, that not only is there a situation with Elon and Donald Trump and they're fighting, but like Elon, say what you will, one, we're not giving Elon a pass. He's a POS. He's a POS, but he is calling out the things, and the things include stuff like Donald Trump saying that he wants to actually scrap the debt limit.
So we were watching what's that called? We were watching the watching it fall out in full time yesterday. And
in real time.
Yeah. And what's his name? Elon. He was tweeting some of Donald Trump's old tweets when he was like, oh, like, you can't let them have the deficit. This is crazy. You're gonna blow it away. Like, where is this man? And now all of a sudden you want to scrap it all together because you know you're gonna spend hella money.
Yep.
Or try to at least.
I think what it is, Jess, is because they built this house of cards saying, oh, it's government efficient. Oh, Doge is we're tracking waste, fraud, and abuse, and da 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 da. And that's the one lie that he has to stand on. But now he doesn't have to stand on that lie anymore, and it's something that is absolutely going to be a weapon that he's going to use, and he's going to say, "Hey, what's with us saving this waste, fraud, and abuse?" Because he even retweeted like a picture of like it was a school bus, and it said Doge savings, and the school bus was turning onto like a railroad track, and then a train like hit the bus and it said Trump's big beautiful bill. So like Elon is getting real petty over on the Twitters, and
I love it.
I think it'll escalate, Jess. I'm not sure. I think it'll escalate.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope it does. Yeah.
What's the
like we told you,
end result that you think will happen?
I was just like I was saying yesterday, you know, when you have like patterns and stuff, you can kind of make a guesstimate or a prediction of what you think is going to happen. But when you involve narcissism, psychopaths, sociopaths, drugs, incompetence, stupidity, everything gets to be very, very much unpredictable. So I feel like whatever is going to happen, I could have never predicted. Like I know it's going to blow up, but the way it's going to blow up and to the extent, I don't even think I could predict that. Like I think that even if he gets I don't even know. Do you think they would deport him?
I think that being honest, right? Because I am someone who said, like, even after Trump committed all these crimes and he was convicted and all that, I said Trump will never see a day in jail, ever. Right? Being honest, I think the most that will happen will be petty back and forth jabs.
Mm-hmm.
Petty back and forth jabs with, you know, them taking shots at each other, and Trump doing stuff like selling his Tesla, or Elon doing stuff like maybe making fun of his wig or whatever. But I don't think that they'll go nuclear, because I'm pretty sure that, I don't want to, you know, get into conspiracy theories, but I'm pretty sure they both have mutually assured destruction. And I don't think that either one of those two narcissists are willing to go that far.
The thing about, and that would be what logical people would do, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know my bones, I know your bones. We're just gonna leave it here.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with narcissists is if they feel like they're losing, they'll burn the bridge with them standing on it, even if they can't swim.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that, Jess. I just don't think that either one of those two have the sack for it. I'm gonna just call it how it is. I don't think
to call the other one out.
No, the sack to burn it all down. I think they have enough ego to be loud and, you know, to let the bravado pop off, but I don't think they have that just enough amount. I don't think they have that level of crazy to burn this bitch down, Jess.
Well, you must don't know a person when they're high on drugs.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you do it in that moment. You may not even remember when you get it. Like, you know, them alcoholics blackout, like, I don't even know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
That,
but I tell you, like, the only way that I could say that is if Trump pushed Elon to that level by seizing his assets and by trying to deport him. Mm-hmm. Like, as long let me make sure I reframe this. Yeah, let me make sure I reframe this. I don't think Trump has the cojones to push Elon to the level where Elon goes into full-blown seahead mode and burns it all down. That's what I don't think will happen.
But you just don't know what you do when you're on said drugs. See, you don't control drugs. Drugs control you. That's the beauty that for us that we'll get to see. And another part of the beauty is that he owns Twitter. So he's more likely to go to Twitter to be able to do said thing. And another thing is that when you spend $220 million to help somebody win an election, and then you get online and say, I could have won it by myself. Bitch, I know you I'm sorry. Excuse me, sir. I know
give
you
my
be
money.
lying. Yeah.
Give my
Yeah.
money. Oh, you
Like,
could have did. All right, cool. Give my
we
money.
don't even want to give nobody, you know, you be in a relationship, you give them, let them stay with you. Be like, no. I'll let you stay with me. 220 million, and you gonna say you did it by yourself? You don't know what that can do to somebody's heart. Like, I'm losing everything for you. He may, to him, because you know, Wahites, they can't always
You mean
take.
white people, Jess?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
They can't always take. They're not gonna let themselves get down to bare or working class. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They get down to their last billion and they're ready to go off the rocker. So we don't never know that to Elon, this could be, it could be burning as we speak. And it could be why he's crashing. Like, this may be the burn for him. We underestimate what a burn looks like to somebody.
Yeah.
To
So
us,
you think
it's
there's
like,
another level?
I mean, we could do whatever with our
You think
last,
there's
like,
you think there's a
$40
next level?
Yeah, I think this is just the first one. Because another thing too, when you're doing drugs or any substances, and hold on. Let me just. I don't know if y'all can even hear it. Can you hear that?
Nope.
Okay, well, it's allegedly. When you're allegedly on drugs, you don't just stop because, like, hey, things are going bad. I'm tripping out. There's this thing called an addiction. And I'm not black explaining it, but that's an inside joke. They have this thing called an addiction, right? And if you're angry and you're going through more and more stuff and you're getting black eyes in the Oval Office and shit, you're more likely to up your dosage, to up your intake, you know, do it more frequently. So that's why I feel like we can count on more outbursts.
Yep.
They act first and then think 3 days later. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know, Jess. Again, I'm interested to see where it goes. I still don't think that either one of them has what it takes to actually, you know, quote unquote, push the button. But I'll be interested to see if it happens. Because if it does, there's going to be some massive fallout. There's going to be some massive fallout that has not only like repercussions within, you know, the MAGA movement or but also there's going to be repercussions that are legally felt. It's going to be a whole thing. It's gonna rock the United States government. It's gonna rock the world if it actually comes out. Which, you know, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Right. You know, everybody got their theory, like, go ahead and give Elon Musk his immunity deal so he can tell us about everything.
Who's gonna give it to him, Jess?
You know, what's it called? ICC?
No. Oh, you mean an international immunity deal?
Yeah.
I thought you meant within the U.S. Okay.
No.
I'm
Because,
about to say, because this administration ain't giving, Pam Bondi ain't giving no immunity.
And that would be a crime that they committed before he was president, so he wouldn't have immunity on that either. So, and he probably knows some other stuff, like they can really get him. So we just never know. I'm being optimistic. Okay, they don't allow us to be optimistic all fucking year. Every day is something. It's been the best day in this Trump administration yesterday since November 5th.
Yeah, well, I'll end on this, Jess. I think that at the very least, I don't know what will actually come from any of this. I genuinely have low expectations for anything actually coming from all of this. But what I will say, damn it, at least it was entertaining.
now that's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. But we got our popcorn out. And I seen this meme they put in the Heather put in the Discord. Shout out to the royal family. They said this is like Drake and Kendrick Lamar, but they both Drake.
Both Drake. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the thing. I don't know, Jess. I mean, we'll see what happens. Speaking of popcorn and having your popcorn out, Jess, who you got?
Who I got? Well, you know, since none of my teams are in, and they're both red states, I'm closest to Oklahoma, so I'm just going to go with the Thunder.
Yeah, I said Pacers in 6. I legitimately, I haven't watched the NBA since the Lakers were out. And I legitimately don't care who wins because neither one of them are the Lakers. But with that being said, I do like Tyler Halliburton. Like his game is awesome, and plus he's a huge WWE fan. So that's a huge plus for me. But I mean, like Jess, I ain't even gonna hold you. I didn't even know the NBA Finals had started. That's how much I'm not
Me
watching.
neither. I
I
went
had
to
no
Google
clue
it.
that it started.
And Chris put something in Discord too, and I went to Google it to see who was in there, and that's how I found out. I say Oklahoma in 7. You want to put a wager on it?
No, I don't care enough about these teams. Like in order to bet on something, I have to even care a little bit. I don't care a little
No,
bit.
this is
Just
that
like,
I don't even know who's playing. The guy you said you liked, I don't even know who that is. I don't
but
know
like
anybody on his
in
team.
order for me to put anything on it, I
No,
would
he
have to
just
care like even like this much, Jess, and I genuinely don't. Like I mean, even I don't even care about being right about my prediction. That's what I'm saying. Like if it was any other team or like if I had any type of conviction, I'd be like, yeah, let's make a bet. I don't care, Jess. I like both of them can lose. I mean, I'm not watching. I have no idea what's happening. I'm focused on the NFL season. So
Before we get out of here, if you put a comment in the chat and let us know if you're in for Indiana or OKC.
yeah, chat. Who do you got? Who do you got, chat? Who in what number? Who in what number? I'm telling you, Jess. I can't remember a more lackluster NBA championship, and even more than that, I can't remember a more lackluster soon-to-be champion. Because no matter if it's Indiana that wins the championship or it's Oklahoma City that wins the championship, no one's going to be thinking about them the day after they win the championship, which has to suck.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
New York.
Taylor's
Oh my God.
exactly. Listen.
Come on, now the WNBA is where it's at.
That's what I'm about to say. I'm more worried about the WNBA right now because we know my aces or my sparks are really gonna put it down. I don't care nothing about
the Dallas Wings.
No. Or
don't underestimate Paige.
Can't forget about the Seattle Shocks. Because
who's on there?
I have to look up the roster, but like they do.
I feel like never mind. Let me.
They weren't that good last year, but
that's why we forgot about the Seattle
Shocks. Yeah, I love the Aces though. I legitimately love the Aces, and I love the Sparks. So yeah.
Who was it that they got the shoe, the pink shoe with Nike?
Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson.
Fire.
I love her. The shoe is fire.
You know where she's from?
Bought a basketball.
You know where she's from?
Where?
SC, Columbia, South Carolina, to be specific.
I knew you was about to say
prodigy. That's why listen, when I tell you I love Asia so much, she is a prodigy. She was dominating in high school basketball. I was in Columbia when she was playing high school basketball. She was dominating. And then she went to the University of South Carolina, which I love the University of South Carolina. I love Don Staley. And when I tell you, ran through the WNCAA, right? Like she just dominated them, and then boom, straight to the league, big dog status, stomping all around. I mean, like Asia Wilson is a beast and one half of a power couple. She's with Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, her and Bam Adebayo from the Miami Heat have been dating since the Olympics. Actually, before that, but yeah.
I didn't know that. I just know I've never bought a basketball player's shoe, man or woman, and I want her shoe, but it sold out.
It sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah, no, like no lie, I was trying to get her shoe for my wife, but like it immediately sold out. It's hard to get her shoe.
And then the commercial, blackity, blackity, black, 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 black. It's straight culture. I love Nike for even.
But that's who Asia Wilson is.
Yeah,
like literally, that's her.
Who directed it?
Who directed?
Obama's daughter. Is it
Really? I
Malia?
didn't know that.
Which one is them? What's their names?
Malia and something. I don't get.
I think Malia is the
I
one
don't
that.
get. I don't get caught up in those kids.
Oh,
Like not only them, but like any of the politician kids. I legitimately like the Clintons, the Bushes, the the Obamas,
Malia.
the
She
Trumps.
directed the commercial. It was straight for the culture. It was blackly black. It had so many hidden gems of our culture in it. Especially the church scene and stuff. And then they
What
got
up,
a fire
Dan?
ass shoe on top of that. Sasha is Malia and Sasha, but
Sasha and
Malia is the
Malia.
one that directed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, Jets.
I'm out. I ain't got no last words. It was
Got no last
great
words.
combo. I love y'all.
All right, fuck it. We got no last words. Let's go ahead and hit them with the outro. Jets. And everyone watching, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Culture and Chaos podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and join the conversation on all the social medias.
Yes, sir. And until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and don't let the chaos dim the culture. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.